Guys, Spurs have just won their first major trophy after 17 years. Like, they had 17 years of trophy drought, and this is their first ever trophy. And then it's the Europa League, guys. It's the Europa League. It's not the Carabao Cup. It's not the FA Cup. It's the Europa League. It's a major competition. Like, can you imagine this? Like, after 2008, when they won their last trophy, they have reached 4 League Cup finals, which is the Carabao Cup, and a Champions League final back in 2019. They lost all of that. People are calling them Bottlers FC. People are calling them, the North London Bottlers, of course. People are calling them that they're not good enough of a team. They can't win anything. Here they are. They've just won a Europa League title this season. And it might be one of the most roughest seasons that they ever had. They win a Europa League. Reaching the final was one thing, okay? That happened, like, as I said, even in the Champions League. They reached the final. They didn't win it. They finally won a trophy, guys. Heung-min Son finally won a trophy. I mean, I am so happy for this Spurs team. Even though, listen, in a lot of videos in which I was making about the Europa League, I was actually kind of supporting Manchester United. But looking at this Spurs team, looking at Heung-min Son, looking at the Spurs team, they haven't won a trophy for 17 years. Son being at the club for 10 years and hasn't won a trophy. Look at the loyalty that Heung-min Son had for this team. He could have left Spurs, but he didn't leave. He wanted to stay. He wanted to win something with this team, and he did. So I am actually very happy for this team, bro. Like, I don't know why, and I'm pretty sure that just like me, there are a lot of people out there who are calling Spurs as a bottlers team. They can't win anything. I'm pretty sure that they're also happy. Well, except for if they're Manchester United fans. But if you're another fan of any other football club, I'm pretty sure that you're happy for Spurs that they won a European Cup. Europa League, bro. And Ange Postecoglou, bro, what can I say? He said that I normally don't win things. I normally win things in my second year. I don't know if that's the actual quote, but yeah, he said that he wins things in his second year, and he did. And it's very, very, like, it's so incredible that he said that. This is going to go down as one of the most, iconic, coldest quotes in football history. Like, there are a lot of quotes back then, but this is a new one. That last year, he says this, and this year, he actually wins a trophy. Very happy for the Spurs team. And there's actually a lot of things that we can talk about in this video, okay? That Jose Mourinho, Antonio Conte, Mauricio Pochettino, all these managers have managed Spurs in the recent years. None of them got a trophy. None of them. Like Jose Mourinho, who is the special one, who makes teams that haven't won a trophy win trophies, he couldn't do it with Spurs. And back then, Spurs wasn't like right now. I think that back then it was way better than right now. But man, Ange Postecoglou, a guy from Australia, comes to Spurs and wins them their first ever trophy after 17 years, bro. And this Spurs winning this trophy just actually defined this season, bro. This season has been the season of the underdogs. Bologna winning their first trophy in 51 years. Newcastle winning their first trophy in 70 years. Crystal Palace, their first ever trophy in their history. Kane winning a trophy, his first career trophy, okay? And now Spurs winning the Europa League after 17 years. Their first major trophy after 17 years, bro. Of course, guys, heartbreak for Manchester United. They had the better run. And you know what? In my match preview video, I mentioned that both these teams have equal rights to get this cup. The reason being that, listen, first of all, both teams have had very broken season, like a very sloppy season this season, okay? They haven't had the best season. Man United, Spurs both have very rough seasons, okay, throughout this season. Too many seasons I spoke, but yeah, they had very bad seasons, okay? But the fact is that in the Europa League, both of these teams were completely different. We're completely different. That I was saying in my previous videos. And in the match preview video, I said that both sides equally deserve to get this cup. The reason being, Spurs haven't won a cup since 2008, of course. And in that video, I mistakenly said that they haven't won a trophy for 20 years. It's actually 17, okay? So 17 years without a trophy. And Man United, on the other hand, they've gone trophyless this season. This was their chance to not go trophyless this season. But the thing is that Man United actually were deserved to get this cup because their run in the Europa League was incredible. They, out of those 8 league matches, they won 5 and they drew 3. And then in the knockout stages, they didn't lose a single game. So 14 total games until reaching the final, they were unbeaten. So they reached the final unbeaten, and they got beaten in the final by Spurs. So in this scenario, both teams, Man United, of course, because of their journey to the final, unbeaten journey, and Spurs, their trophy drought for 17 years, both of them had equal rights to get this cup. But at the end of the day, Spurs came out victorious and they got the cup. And it's actually very incredible, guys. But looking at the actual match now, guys, looking at the actual match. And here it actually gets very interesting because if we look at the stats, the actual stats, 27 possession of Spurs. Like Spurs in the whole match, even though they won, they had 27 possession. And Man United had 73 possession. So no matter that they had such a low possession, Spurs, but they still got the win, 1-0 win. And you know what, guys? The goal that was scored by Brennan Johnson in the 42nd minute, it was not the prettiest goal. It was not the most fabulous goal that you'll see in football, but it matters the most. Goals win games. This is what we know, okay? So even though I know it wasn't the prettiest goal, yes, I know that. But if the goal caused Spurs to win their first trophy in 17 years, then why not? It was a fabulous goal in that case, okay? So yeah, I mean, they kept possession, Manchester United. Tottenham Hotspur, throughout the whole game, they had 3 shots and 1 shot on target. And that one shot on target was the one which was the goal. Manchester United, 16 shots, 6 on target. So you can see who dominated this game. But at the end of the day, of course, Spurs came out victorious. And it's actually very interesting to see this. Like, very interesting. Like, so many big chances, of course, created by Manchester United. Missed all of them. But, guys, looking at the events, there are no big events on this match. Only that one goal. Now, listen. In the first half, both teams were playing very good. Okay? It was like equality in both teams. Because both teams were attacking, defending, trying to score goals, creating chances, all this, attacking, and, But the thing is, in the 42nd minute, it all changed. Brennan Johnson scored that goal. I don't know how he scored it, the athleticism, the quickness of this player scored this goal, okay? And, of course, after this, Man United were very furious. Like, very furious. Spurs, after this goal, were just trying to defend. They didn't even want to attack. Because they said, okay, we got the win. Let's park the bus, okay? And now, if we get the ball, we'll start to attack. And they did that. But Manchester United, after like 60 minutes, 70 minutes, they were playing football. And I'm actually very surprised that throughout the whole Europa League campaign this season, in those kind of moments, Manchester United have showed up. They have scored goals in that moment, okay? They didn't do it in this one. Because it was just a Spurs thing. It was just a Spurs thing to win this cup. So, of course, Spurs were trying to attack. They were trying to defend. Because they knew that Manchester United, at this point, they're going to try to score a goal. And man, what a clearance that was from Mickey van de Ven. I forgot to mention. What a save. What saves from Vicario. What a performance from Christian Romero, who was the man of the match. But that goal line clearance from Mickey van de Ven, that was fabulous, bro. I really thought that was going to go in. But it was cleared. But yeah, guys, I mean, Man United in the last minutes, like not the last minutes, 70 minutes plus or 65 minutes, just in that range until full time, they were trying their best. They did everything they can. Bruno Fernandes, Dorgu, Garnacho, he was subbed in. And the thing is, guys, the thing that makes this win even more interesting for Spurs is that they had no Madison, no Kulusevski, no Bergval. They had their whole defensive line. Uh, Romero, Mickey Van de Ven, Udogi, Pedro Porro, Vicario. But they didn't have these attacking players that I just mentioned. Madison, Kulusevski, Bergval. And still they won the trophy. So that's very interesting to see. But the thing is, guys, at the end of the day, Manchester United, very hard luck, man. Hard luck, Manchester United. I mean, they equally deserve this. But at the end of the day, guys, if you can't score a goal, you just can't score a goal. It's what I say, okay? And they lost the final against Spurs. Spurs, congratulations. Congratulations, Ange Postecoglou. Congratulations, Heung-min Son, for winning this trophy. 10 years you spent at this club, and you finally win a trophy. Congratulations to everyone, bro. I mean, you deserved it very well. I think that's a wrap for this video. Spurs have won their first ever cup after 17 years. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next video.